Freedom is never given, it is taken, often at unimaginable cost. With this premise, Aleksandr Solzhenitsyn's The Gulag Archipelago exposes the terrifying machinery of oppression and the enduring resilience of the human spirit. Published in 1973 in Paris, it was banned in the Soviet Union. The Gulag Archipelago is not a conventional narrative but a sprawling, meticulously researched chronicle of the Soviet forced labor camp system. Drawing from his own imprisonment, testimonies of fellow prisoners, and years of clandestine note-taking, Solzhenitsyn unveils the horrors endured by millions under Stalinist rule. The work combines history, memoir, philosophy, and literature to form an unflinching examination of systemic repression. The book traces the cycle of arrest, interrogation, transport, and imprisonment that defined life in the Gulag. Solzhenitsyn recounts the psychological and physical torment inflicted on prisoners, the arbitrariness of charges, and the way ordinary people were dehumanized through fear, propaganda, and forced labor. He also probes the moral dilemmas of both victims and perpetrators, showing how ideology and bureaucratic obedience can corrode conscience. The title itself, Archipelago, is a metaphor. The camps were scattered across the Soviet landscape like islands, yet together formed a vast network of repression stretching across the nation. By weaving personal experiences with hundreds of testimonials, Solzhenitsyn gives voice to the silenced, creating a historical record that is both intimate and sweeping. He also highlights the resilience and creativity that allowed some prisoners to endure unimaginable suffering. The book's publication ignited immediate controversy. In the USSR, it was banned outright as slanderous and anti-Soviet, and Solzhenitsyn was stripped of his citizenship and forced into exile in 1974. Internationally, however, the work was hailed as a landmark in exposing authoritarianism and became a touchstone in the global human rights movement. It shocked readers with its scope and detail, forcing reconsideration of the Soviet state's image abroad. But the Gulag Archipelago is more than a historical exposé, it is a meditation on moral responsibility. Solzhenitsyn examines how ordinary people become complicit in tyranny, through fear, ambition, or indifference. He challenges readers to consider how easily human systems can be corrupted, and how essential ethical vigilance is to safeguard freedom. Its enduring power lies in its insistence that oppression is not only political but moral, and that survival requires not just physical endurance but intellectual and ethical integrity. The book remains intensely relevant today. In a world where authoritarian regimes still operate, where surveillance, censorship, and systemic abuse persist, Solzhenitsyn's chronicle stands as a warning. Unchecked power, bureaucratic compliance, and the erosion of conscience can produce immense suffering. The Gulag is not just a Soviet story, it is a universal lesson in vigilance, empathy, and moral courage. Equally important is Solzhenitsyn's insistence on memory and testimony. By documenting the experiences of prisoners, he preserved the humanity of those who suffered, ensuring that their voices would not vanish. This call to bear witness resonates with contemporary movements seeking justice for victims of state oppression, war crimes, and systemic abuses of power. Reading the Gulag Archipelago today forces confrontation with uncomfortable truths, the fragility of freedom, the cost of complicity, and the endurance of dignity under extreme conditions. Solzhenitsyn's prose is dense, reflective, and morally urgent, demanding that readers engage not just intellectually but ethically and emotionally. His depictions of courage, solidarity, and moral resistance inspire reflection on what it means to live conscientiously in any society. In the end, the Gulag Archipelago is both historical document and literary triumph. It is a study of power and cruelty, yes, but also a testament to resilience and moral agency. The book endures because it compels readers to remember, to witness, and to recognize that freedom, intellectual, moral, and physical, is never guaranteed but must be preserved through conscience, courage, and vigilance. The lesson is clear: oppression can touch anyone, anywhere, yet the human spirit has the capacity to resist, endure, and testify. By reading it, we honor those who suffered and remind ourselves that silence, complacency, or complicity only deepen injustice. The Gulag Archipelago remains a stark, unflinching reminder that freedom and dignity require constant vigilance, and that literature can illuminate even the darkest corners of history.